Happy New Year. We are into 2021. I know we're all really looking forward to moving on into the next year. Just so you all know, you can put any comments into the chat if you would like to do that. I will keep an eye on it as well. And then if there's any comments or questions, go ahead and add those into the chat box anytime. Hi, Mike. I see you there in the background too. So great to see you guys. I want to first let you all know how we ended 2019. I've got very early preliminary numbers. The ARC is not closed for last week just yet, but we are looking that we will have finished out 2021 at just over 20 million for the year for the Andavo Travel Division. Comparatively, 2019, we ended the year at about 66 million. So we're a little less than 30%, but that, all things considered, I think that is a pretty good way to end the year. We are looking forward to that vaccine getting out there, people getting able to, travel again. So really looking forward to all of those opportunities. I did get one topic from Jamie Jackson. She wanted to just talk with everybody about some marketing ideas and what, and this is where interactive, so you guys jump on in here. Is there anything that you guys are doing actively to stay in front of your clients? So as travel is coming back, even if it's not a marketing piece to sell the travel, is there anything that you're doing in a way that you have found that has been successful to you in staying in front of your clients? I'll open that up. If anybody wants to jump in, go right ahead. And remember, you're on mute, so if you want to jump in, you'll have to unmute your lines. I know that Allie has worked with several of you on some different marketing pieces and different things that you can post into your social media. Just looking to see if there was anything specifically that anybody had done or was looking at doing. Okay. This is the part of the call where you guys talk.
You know if I'm on.
Yeah, so the controls for your mute, your audio is, for me, it's up at the top. For you guys, it might be down at the bottom. It'll be a little microphone. If it's got the line through it, you're muted. If you click on that, that will unmute your line and you should be able to join in. So if there is anybody wants to have anything that they worked on, oh, actually, I just clicked on something wrong and I jumped into a different screen. Sharon said, did send Happy New Year emails out to clients. So that's a great item to do. Anybody else do anything with clients and just keep it in front of them? Not necessarily sales marketing, but just continuing marketing. Stay in front of your clients.
I called them, about 5 of my good clients around the new year.
Yeah.
And see how they all were. And, there's enough cheap fares to Europe where I'm looking at some Europe next fall. So not much. I can't get too much, there's just, little tiny bits. I just had 6 people at the Four Seasons in Santa Fe. That was very successful. Yeah, that was after a lot of going back and forth with New Mexico and the governor. That was wild. But anyway, they have opened and it went very well. And it was a wonderful experience for the staff and for my clients. So that was great. That was for New Year's. Yeah. There's some upbeat stuff here and there.
Yeah. And Cheryl just put in a comment that she's doing a New Year's letter to clients. So that is great.
Kirsten, this is Jamie. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I wanted to say like 2 ideas I had. One is sharing some like packing tips ideas and saying, oh, you know, if you didn't remember how to pack, like here's some suggestions. Or
it's been
travel,
so long since you've gone anywhere.
Or like travel products that I like and like highlighting certain things that I have found that are useful, like that Toomey bag that we got, that backpack that rolls up. That is the best thing ever. And I've recommended that to so many people. So just little things like that. And I'm just trying to say, okay, well, how can we stay top of mind without like acting like we're constantly selling that people will remember us later on? So if anybody has ideas, I think it's great for us to share because they're going to different people. So we can all use it.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so anybody has those kinds of ideas that you've done. One other thing that Jamie had mentioned in her email to me was a little video that explains the difference between Great Britain and UK, and something that people, you know, not necessarily salesy, but it's travel related and may get some interest of some people that are watching it, just to, you know, give them a little bit of information. So if there's anything that you guys have found or resources that would be good places for other people to look and see if they can find content, that'd be great to share as well. I did, and I'm going to see if I can't find, oh, I don't have my notes in here with me. When I was at a conference a few months ago, one of the gals was saying that she uses a card sending company. So, you know, everybody is liking the handwritten notes. She felt she didn't have the time or the nice penmanship to do handwritten notes. And so she found a card service that actually does handwritten notes. You tell them what you want to have written in the note, and then the contacts, they do the handwriting so it looks very nice, penmanship, and then we'll send it out on your behalf. So that was something I thought fairly ingenious, that not necessarily that we don't have the time to do those handwritten notes, but sometimes our penmanship is not the neatest. So nice to have that. And I think she can even do, she was saying there's all kinds of, you can have content that you're creating, but also like general content. So if you're just wanting to send out birthday cards or anniversary cards, they would have just standard card stock, but they would do the card service for you. So, and I think it was fairly inexpensive. I'll have to go back and find the service, but it was like $1 a card. So if you're looking at the expense of it and going out and getting the card stock, going out and getting the postage, and then your time and writing them out and sending them, $1 a card really doesn't sound too bad. So I'll find that information on what company it was that she used and get that out to everybody. Also want to just see, is there anything that anybody has, you know, it's a new year, it's time for resolutions. Anything that you're thinking of putting together with your business and making a change and really actively doing something different as business is coming back this year?
I think just trying to get out and travel and get more confident about that. And that's, I have been on the road quite a bit since I saw you. We had a granddaughter. We had a baby girl. Yeah, on October 21st. Yeah, it was quite a saga. But anyway, so I had to go to New York and deal with all that. There's certain places to look more toward. New York is not one of them. It's very complicated. You know, so I mean, if you can direct people, but right now it's still, the minute you think something's good, boom, you know, so it's confusing. But
Yeah.
I think the short trips are successful, and Arizona, even though their numbers are out of this world with COVID, it's still, a great vacation. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of South Africa and stuff like that, but I think it's a little premature.
Yeah.
Until the vaccinations really take hold, and then, that'll change the game. Anybody else doing anything other than trying to figure this out? I don't know. It's been a long year. Almost a year. Can you imagine?
Yeah, and so Diane just put a comment in about Andavo providing a terms and conditions page. And it is something that I have a version from, I have a couple of different versions out there. We've got our lawyer that is taking a look at it. We had kind of put it on the back burner during the holidays, but it is something I've got our lawyer looking at just to see how we can put that together so that we have you and your independent business covered, as well as Andavo Travel, your host agency, covered, so that the two parties are both covered in that T&C. All of the versions that I have seen are really more like a single company named in the terms and conditions. So we just want to make sure that we have both parties covered and have that all attended to before we get anything sent out. So we are working on that one, Diane. So we'll get that out as soon as we've got it. ASTA does have a couple of templates. So if you're members of ASTA, you can go onto the ASTA website and see what their templates are. They've got a couple of different templates. They've got templates around the insurance waivers, credit card authorizations, terms and conditions. So ASTA is a great resource as well. And speaking of ASTA, if you are not a member, I really recommend that you become a member. They have given a discount to Andavo in the past after our annual conference. It is an investment, but it is great in helping out our industry association. They do a lot for us. And I really do feel that 2021, the rise of the Department of Labor question about independent contractor classifications is going to come up again. And it's going to be outside of the state of California. It's going to be probably more on the federal level and will be more statewide. It's something that you guys as independent business owners really need to watch and really need to pay attention to. And any support that you can give to ASTA for the travel community, they do great work with all of the legislative days that they do, all of the activists that they perform on our benefit, lobbying there. It's great. So any support that we can do to help them with that is great. ASTA Legislative Day is May 18th and 19th. Jamie Jackson has gone in the past. Jamie, are you planning on going again this year?
I don't think so, because I'm going to go to the ASTA conference in August. So okay. I kind of just wanted to pick one event to do, but I recommend it. It's a great networking, and it's kind of neat to see all the legal stuff too, and go in to see where everybody works and everything. So I recommend it. It's not necessarily about, learning about travel things. It's like a different aspect of the industry, but it's neat to see. And it's important to know how it works, and that a lot of people are working for us to make what we do work. So.
Yeah, great. Thank you. And thank you for being there. Was it just in 2020 or was it in 2019 that you went?
So it was like in February before everything went down.
Okay, before everything hit. Okay. Yeah.
And we were lucky it didn't snow, which was good. But it was right when there was like a presidential speech going on, so everything was blocked off. So it was kind of weird in that aspect.
Kind of a crazy time to be in DC.
Yeah, but it's May this year, so the weather should be nicer for it.
Yeah.
And if you can go early or later, there's some great hotels just in the area too.
Okay. Yeah,
Kirsten,
yes.
I'm just sending out, probably some of you have gotten it, but I'm just sending out, if you are a member of ASTA, they do have the Travel Advisor Daily News. And in that, they have just, ASTA has having a webinar tomorrow, and the information is in this email about relief programs and how you might access those. I don't know any details on that new relief package, but this is going to be addressing that. So that could be really helpful. It is for ASTA members only. So again, another great advantage in being an ASTA member, and it's not that much to join if you are not already, and it does have the information on how to join. So I'm sending that out right now to everybody.
Great. Thank you,
And
Meredith.
also, thank you, Meredith. And also, if Kirsten, if you don't mind, I could add, they do have a promo code. So it's ASTA 50. So ASTA 50. You use that promo code at checkout, and that will allow a discount.
Thanks, Allie. Yeah, and then just continuing on with the conversation about independent contractor status, really the best way for you to secure your identification as an independent contractor is to have that at least a DBA and an EIN issued by the IRS so that you are reporting your taxes as a business and not as under your Social Security number. So we have been going through and collecting that from those that are in California, but any of you that have outside of California, if you have not gone through the steps of getting an EIN, it's easy, it's free. It's just through the IRS website. You can get it even as a sole proprietor. It will ask a question about why you're requesting it. And the main answer would probably be for banking reasons. That seems to be the one that most closely fits why you would want to have that EIN, is to keep your basically your taxes separate from any individual. But then again, it does protect you in the case of anybody coming after you or suing you. It does keep any business assets separate from personal assets if you've got your business set up and established with the EIN. You don't have to have an LLC, although that just gives you that added layer of protection as well. But you can be a sole proprietor and have the EIN. For those of you in California, if you have not established your business license, make sure that you have gotten that completed and get me a copy of your active business license. Many of you think we're expiring at the end of 2020, so you'll need to renew those business licenses. Make sure you keep those active and then get me a copy of your most recent. And if your county in California does not require a business license, which some counties do not, I need proof of that if it is in an email from the county or something from the county showing that it's not required for you. We, as an independent or a host of independent contractors, have to have that on file for any California independent contractors now. And I anticipate that that's going to spread throughout the other states as well. So as more and more of this comes to light across the states with the Department of Labor, we will really want to make sure that we have everything buttoned up there. Oh, Allie, thank you for putting that code in the chat. I see that. And Mary, I see that you added a link for e-cards. JackieLawson.com, $20 a year, and you can add a personalized message. So that's a great card service as well. Yeah, and I did just get an email from Robert Douglin about the update tomorrow. So that'd be great. Any of you that can attend that, that would be wonderful for you to get that information. Anything else anybody has on their minds as we're starting into a new year? Meredith or Allie, did you have any other updates?
I just had one client base update, and this really just affects the client base advisors in Birmingham and Salt Lake that were on client base windows. That I know that we're getting those expiration notices. Client base support has been closed since Christmas. So just opened again today. So I had requested the new license number back before Christmas and got their out of office email. So I have followed up on that today and will send that out as soon as I have it, hopefully today.
Great. Thanks, Meredith. Allie, did you have any updates?
I don't right now, other than just a reminder of any of you who need any marketing assistance as we're talking about ideas of reaching clients. Please reach out. Sometimes, we have to collaborate creatively to think of out of the box ideas. So just that I'm available here for you if you want to run some things past me or think of things that I can do to help assist in creating things. So just as a reminder that I'm available and we can try some new things and talk about it as we look to the new year.
Great. And Diane Rutgers, I see you have your hand up. You must have clicked on the hand button. Did you have something?
Just the fact that I think ongoing forward, questions about air are starting to come up for me, of course. And my new thing, I did talk to Jackie this morning a little bit about it, because when we had all this major air booked and we had to cancel it all because Europe closed, so United ultimately refunded everything, and then we had to pay back a ton of commission, which was horrible. Right. So now I think what we've decided to do, or I've decided to do going forward, is that when I do look or book or whatever, is that I'm saying I will, with even if United and Europe close and we can refund, I still am going to probably charge between 6 and 12%, obviously the commission amount back to the clients. I'm telling my clients that up front, because it's just, you can't go on like that. It was horrible, it was bad. And so it's just something that I think, I don't know if anybody has any ideas on, but it's just almost impossible to sell these tickets and then completely refund them the minute United says. I hope United never does that again. I mean, they had to.
Yeah.
I'm just using United as an example, but anyway, because fares are not cheap. They're not cheap, and they're not going to probably go down. I mean, there are $2,800 business class tickets out of Newark for Venice and Rome, but it's a 10-day minimum. I mean, they're very good right now for $2,800. Normally it's, $4,000 to $5,000, if not more. Yeah. So anyway, that's just one idea to try to maintain my life with air, because air is, I know it's nothing everybody always wants to sell, but the problem is at Aspen, you have to sell air. There's nowhere to, you can't, it's complicated. So anyway.
Yeah.
But people are coming in here for sure. There's a ton of people coming in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, town was packed for the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I didn't go into town a lot because of that, but anyway, it was busy. So that's good. Colorado did okay, I think.
Good.
More or less. Yeah. For Christmas.
Yeah. I have heard of other people looking to implement a cancellation fee. Mm-hmm. So they'll have their initial booking fee and then charge an additional fee for a canceled booking. Mm-hmm. In order to help cover some of the time, but also the lost commission. So
I mean, is Europe basically still closed? I'm seeing flights to Europe all the time. I think they're operating. London, I don't know about Paris. Yeah. Italy, I think Rome for sure. I mean, I haven't talked to anybody who's been there. So that's a problem.
Yeah, but there's probably still the 14-day quarantine or so if you're going, you're having to stay put for. Yeah.
And I think that the vaccine passport is a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
That will empower us to start, back in this business anyway. That's all I can think.
Yeah, and Allie, I saw the, and now my mind is going blank, the posting with, is it Common something? That was.
Sorry. Common Pass. Yes,
Common Pass.
I posted it with a link on the Ondavo Travel Facebook. And if those of you that are interested, I can send the link out. But it's an article about Common Pass, and basically your doctor uploads your COVID, negative COVID test to the software through the app via your phone, and you just use that as you travel.
That's a good one. I don't know. I didn't see that for some reason. Okay.
I'll send the link out to the article.
Oh, great.
I'll send it out to everybody.
Use that actually. I'm going back to Florida on Saturday. So, Florida's busy, as far as I know. It's really busy. So that's good. I don't know.
Did everyone see that Canada has implemented, in addition to the 14-day quarantines, they've also implemented now a requirement for a negative COVID test as well, in addition to 14-day quarantine. I'm not really sure what that affects. If you have the 14-day
the 14 days isn't kind of arbitrary anymore if you're negative. I mean,
right.
Anyway.
Well, with Canada, they're still requiring it for leisure travel. I think there are some exceptions to that, or for Canadian citizens. So the flights are open, but for if you chose to, wanted to go to Canada, you would have the 14-day quarantine, plus you have to have a negative COVID as well. So they've made it very difficult.
Has anybody talked to anybody going to Mexico? I haven't heard one way or another.
Yeah, several of us have been to Mexico.
Okay. And do you quarantine when you get there with Mexico?
No, there's no quarantine. There's no requirement really at all. You don't even have to have a negative
Very easy.
test. You just go. Yeah. So.
Okay. And they seem to be operating.
They were doing temperature checks everywhere. Everywhere you went, they were doing temperature checks.
Gosh, amazing. That's good. Okay. Great.
And I just wanted to mention a correction. It wasn't on Ondavo Travel Facebook. It was on our LinkedIn page that I posted it. Anyway, I just sent it out. So.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Allie. Get the chat back up. I saw something pop up from, Daisy's got clients leaving for Cabo this week to go to One and Only. Great. And many airlines require travelers to have the negative COVID test. Have any of them announced their policy for those who have taken? I haven't seen anything in addition in relation to the vaccine. Has anybody else seen any updates on airlines with showing a certificate of vaccination or?
I think until they get the vaccinations really rolled out, they can't require it because you can't really get one yet.
Yeah, right now it's that phase.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it eventually, but right now I think it would be pointless that you can't get one.
Yeah. So I don't know what you do if you, I guess if you've been vaccinated, you still need to take a COVID test to show you're negative. So they'll get their second dose January 8th and then they travel January 10th. Yeah, they may need to still have a COVID test. Cindy has a friend who was booked via Amsterdam to South Africa and was denied boarding because she had the wrong test. I have seen that different, Hawaii requires a very specific and the test going through specific labs. So that is something that they'd have to watch, that it's the right type of test. And now there's different tests out there. It's a lot to keep track of, guys. It's a lot.
The big problem is that it changes every other day too.
Right.
I know Tahiti's got their, United will test you in San Francisco on the Tahiti flight. My niece and her boyfriend went down, and then they have to get 2 tests when they're there, and they do a contact tracing, more or less. If you're in a hotel, probably more. But yeah, so they did follow up, so that's good. But Tahiti's been okay, but there's just no people there. It's just, not many. It's a good time to go, actually, for sure.
Oh, and Daisy, I hadn't heard this. The World Health Organization says vaccinated travelers should still quarantine, citing lack of evidence that COVID vaccines prevent transmission. It's not one thing, it's another, right?
That's pretty rough. Sorry. I mean,
yeah.
That CDC guy who said that is not even a doctor.
Sorry, Jan, didn't hear what you had said. Could you repeat that?
Oh, the person who came out and said that is not a physician, and he's kind of an idiot. So
okay.
I think it's evolving. It's definitely.
Great, thank you. Yeah, Daisy, send that article. We'll get that out to everybody. And Margie said that she has a client that didn't want to quarantine, but because he was vaccinated, he was told still would have to. Yeah. And Hannah, I have a client who flew to Pakistan and contracted COVID there. Are they back here in the US or are they still in Pakistan? Not yet. Well, hopefully they'll be able to stay there and recover before they come back. I guess they'd have to have a negative result before they'd be able to come back. So whether they were planning to stay or not, they're probably there. Yeah, it has to wait till she gets the negative test. Yeah. Yeah, we're planning to come back next week. Has to wait. Any other comments or questions from anyone? Well, thank you all for joining in. It's our first Monday call of the year. We will continue to do these and we are recording them. So we will have this posted within the next 24 hours to our YouTube channel. And again, if you don't have access to that YouTube channel, Allie has the instructions on how to do that. She sent that out in the past. So look for an email from Allie. We'll keep meeting together every Monday and as much as we can to support each other and share ideas and give you updates on how we're seeing industry trends. So thank you all for joining and we will see you again next week. Happy New Year.